Have you noticed that buildings look different now? If we are being genuine, where would you rather live? In villa in Italy or in apartment in New York? The answer is obvious. All sane people will choose to live in villa in Italy rather than in square box in New York. Because why would you want to live in a small square box when you can live in a 2-story villa in Italy with an amazing view, and you will be surrounded by tons of different plants that you can also harvest. And we are not even talking about vineyards. For the same price you can buy either this villa in Italy or you can buy an apartment in New York. But remember, this villa cost $950,000 and this apartment absolutely costs the same. But for the same exact price, you are getting completely different qualities of buildings. One is just a tiny apartment in New York, and the second one is actually two buildings, two-story buildings. They actually have 10 bedrooms, you have a swimming pool, and also you have 15,000 square meters of land for the same price. And also not to mention that Italian villa has tons of absolute amazing features like having olive garden, and also you have a small vineyard. Plus you have a big parking lot. Isn't it crazy, you know? For the same absolute price, why apartment in New York costs so much? Considering it doesn't offer anything, and who in their sane mind will actually would want to live in New York, where all the things you have here is just skyscrapers that are actually depressing, in my opinion. You feel so tiny and not important in this place, so it makes you question your existence. And also check how the Italian villa is decorated inside. Look at this all furniture, how cozy and comfortable it looks, like classic European style. Nothing extraordinary, everything is at the right place. But if you will go for New York apartment, it's complete nightmare. I was actually curious. I was searching for some apartments and this came up first, and guess what? The first picture that they put is AI shit. Crazy, right? Like, you are trying to sell a $1 million apartment and the first picture you have is AI. Definitely a great deal, because actually if you look at it, just check, you have this weird scene in the ceiling, right? I will highlight it so it will be easy to see it. Plus you can see this shelf at the bottom that is also kind of fucked up. I will show you the original picture that they have. Plus AI put this yellow filter on this picture for some reason. And also the hall is much longer on AI version. So who are they trying to fool? Maybe they try to demonstrate how you can decorate this place, but like, hello? Why would you use AI for that? And also the funny thing that I found on this exact website, as you can see, it says $1,068,000. The estimate. Like, why it sounds suspicious? Am I the only one? I don't know. Well, as you can see at this scheme, it has a bedroom, a kitchen, and a living room. Wow, 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 wow. And this amount of space you have for $1 million? What? How it's even possible for this tiny apartment to cost $1 million? This all interior looks same, and everything is white. And you know where there is also white walls? Oh, hello there! Hello there! Oh, hello there! Oh, hello there! Yeah, and also check this amazing view. Yeah, if you buy this apartment, you will see another apartment from your windows right 5 meters from you. You will stare at your neighbors, at their walls. Maybe you will spy on them. Like, $1 million for that view? What the Excuse me? Who is paying for that? Nobody is paying for that. And of course, if we are gonna compare the new architecture and old architecture, when you are in historical part of the city, it feels like completely different. It feels amazing compared to the new districts, because new districts are filled with modern architecture, and you know, it's kinda boring. Of course, it's all the same, repetitive, no elegance in it. Everything is just cost cutting. Well, that's all we got for now. When people first start building buildings, it was only for protection, but when humanity started evolving, people realized that they can also decorate buildings and use them as a form of art. And this exact moment happened around 10,000 years BC. At this exact time, people started decorating their building with patterns, ornaments, and other things that can represent something. So, back then, buildings were supposed to represent the culture of the people who live in specific territory, but now, as globalization hit, no matter where you go, you will see the same absolute buildings, the same absolute boxes, like apartments, houses. It's all looks same, it doesn't matter where you live in America, Japan, doesn't absolutely matter. The houses looks the same now. Isn't it crazy that people just started losing their identities that were like forming for actually thousands of years before? Currently, the earliest confirmed building was built around 400,000 years ago in France. Also, it depended on the area, but in areas where especially mammoth bone is available, for example, mammoth bone dwellings 2400 years ago, exactly this bone mammoths building looks like something that Patrick will live in. If we will talk about the architecture, the first really magnificent architecture that was created on this planet, it was Mesopotamian one. All the different magnificent structures, as you can see, they all look cool considering what amount of technology people have back then. It's pretty impressive. And then, starting from this, the architecture started to evolve. Then we had ancient Egyptian. Ancient Egyptian. When I was searching images for Egyptian pyramids, I actually noticed very interesting thing. I found this picture and it reminded me of something. Just take a look at this picture. Yeah, looks familiar, right? It's Anubis. Anubis CS2 map. All these magnificent pyramids that were built, all these columns, all these places that look so great. And of course, people have a specific language that they use and write on these buildings. And for me, pyramids are actually impressive because how tall they build it, not having any sort of technology, is actually insane. And even so, it's confirmed that it was built by humans back then, but well, I can't imagine people actually building this. And I'm not into conspiracy theories either, but just to imagine how people without anything build this, actually insane, and the only explanation for that is this picture. After the Egyptians, we have the Greek architecture, which was also looking very impressive. And you can see all these magnificent buildings that were built at this time. And in modern architecture, we use a lot of this style, just combining it with modern look. And not always it looks great, especially when people are trying to use very cheap materials just to scam, you know, like these buildings that are built just for profits that will like be demolished in few years. Wow. The Greek architecture that had these all magnificent ornaments with all these rules, how you need to implement them. Actually impressive and very, very beautiful. Also very impressive style is Nabatean. People started making buildings inside big rocks. The amount of skill it took to create this, and time of course, actually blows my mind, because the amount of patience and dedication to this work you need to have, and the amount of people you actually need to bring it to life, I couldn't even imagine how much it took to make these amazing masterpieces. And of course, the Roman architecture that played a huge role in developing the architecture design in the whole world, like I mean mostly in Europe of course, but still even right now they look pretty amazing. Of course we had a lot of different styles, but I will just skip most of them, because if I won't skip them the video will be too long, and I actually want to talk about the styles that I personally like, so we will skip a lot of them for now, but let's just focus on Romanesque. It's a very cool medieval style of architecture that I really like, but there is also another style that is actually much better in my opinion, and of course it's Gothic. Just look at Notre Dame, for example. Absolutely magnificent building that was burned a few years ago. Yeah. Well, they restored it, so it looks the same as it was. So it's nice. And also we have all this other different Gothic architecture that is really, really cool. And of course, not to mention the greatest of them all, the Cathedral of Counter-Strike that is located in Cologne. Like, of course, the Cologne Cathedral is the best looking building in this world, in my opinion. Like, there is nothing better than it, considering how tall it is, how big it is, how beautiful it is, and this building is unbelievable. I'm pretty sure that people right now even won't be able to build something magnificent like that with modern technologies, just not possible, considering what buildings people are building now. And it's pretty sad that instead of having buildings like that, we have just gray boxes, bro, which is not cool. Nobody wants them, but they're cheap, so it is what it is. Also, if we are talking about medieval architecture, in my opinion, Kingdom Come Deliverance is a great example of a game where you can actually go and experience medieval life yourself, see all this architecture, all these different buildings, like how it was back then in Europe. It's actually pretty nice to have the ability to just walk around and enjoy the game like that, and how it all looks, how people were dressed up back then, and the cool thing that you can actually enter all the buildings, look what was inside of them. It's actually really impressive and immersive, and I really like that. Oh, hello there. You can see in what buildings actual people lived. You can see how churches looked. You can see this magnificent castle of Ratai. Like, of course, we can't skip Renaissance. Renaissance is also a very important part of the architecture history, and it also looks great. You can look at these all buildings yourself. They're amazing. Well, then we switch to Baroque. I don't know how to actually pronounce this, but in general, this was also a pretty cool style. Not every time, not every building. There are some that I don't really like, especially when there is too much gold in them. But still, it was nice. Let's move to Neoclassicism. Neoclassicism is a really cool design because it combines styles from the past and add some modern look to it, and in general it looks still great, I would say. revivalism and eclecticism. It was nice, I would say. The whole style was pretty nice. As you can see, all these buildings, they look amazing. You can find not good looking buildings everywhere, but most of them were still looking nice. Box arts. It's actually an amazing style. You can also look at all these buildings, they look pretty awesome. Till this moment, all these buildings were looking great, but then Industrial Revolution happened that brings us many new materials, for example, metal and concrete. So, people decided to actually adapt to these new materials and start building with them, right? With new materials, new buildings with new materials. And actually at the start, buildings were looking actually great. And then we switched to Art Nouveau. And this architecture style, in most of the cases, also looked great. It has details, it has all the right shapes, but with everything good, it comes to the end. And this is the time where modern comes in. This was the first architecture style that actually was pretty horrible, with all these simplified shapes, building blocks. Honestly, like, what is that? Ain't no way anyone saying that this looks good. Or maybe this. Or maybe this. Like, I mean, I'm sure, yeah, it looked different. But it's just so flat, so boring, so depressing. But speaking about depressing, well, this style is nothing compared to something that will came up soon. After modern, Art Deco came up, which was actually a pretty good combination of modern plus old architecture. So yeah, sometimes it looked okay, sometimes it looked good, sometimes it looked bad. So, but in general, I can't say anything bad about this architecture style. Then people moved to international style. It's all these skyscrapers that I personally hate, because most of them looks like giant glass boxes. And even if they didn't look like giant skyboxes, they are still terrible because it's uncomfortable to live inside of them. It's uncomfortable to work in them. They ruin the whole atmosphere, the whole vibe of the city. Because if we have, let's say, a city with buildings that are 2 stories maximum, and then they build 100-story apartment, it would look so bad. And of course, let's take a look at the worst architecture style of all time. Brutalism. Like, I don't know who came up with all this design. I mean, brutalism have some good looking buildings, but it's actually 1 or 2 buildings. Other than that, it looks horrible. All this gray concrete with different kind of stains, bro. You have white stains, you have rust stains, you have water stains, and nobody is cleaning that. It looks fucking horrible. I like the argument that people use is that, well, just plant some green, yeah, like make it green, bro, brutalism. Plant some trees and it will fix it. Yeah, of course, bro, like you can also cover it in camouflage net and try to make it look good. Maybe instead they could just build beautiful building from the start. How about that? Nobody probably think about that. I honestly don't know how good your life is supposed to be to like brutalism. This style actually gives you depression, because if you live in a city where everything is gray with kind of different stains, like I don't know how you're supposed to be even happy living in the city with this architecture. It's impossible. And then after brutalism we had postmodern. This is the most goofiest architecture style that is here right now. You can look at all these pictures and be like, what is that? It looks like shitpost architecture, honestly. I don't know. Anyone who likes it, just goofy, bro. It's not even funny. It's bad in every way. And then
deconstructivism
appeared, but Honestly,
Deconstructivism.
is not that bad. Like, yeah, I can show you this picture, for example, it looks horrible. But if you will actually look at this one, it's the same architecture style, but as you can see, it looks actually fine. Maybe it's because it's new, I don't know. Well, actually, it's not new, it was built like almost 30 years ago. Even till these days, it looks nice. But in general, as you can see, there are tons of bad buildings in this architecture style, so it depends mostly on the project. In my opinion, most of the most magnificent buildings were built from stone and not concrete and steel. And of course, if we will talk about the modern days right now, builders frequently use the most cost-effective materials, of course, because nobody have money right now. And of course, it makes sense to build like standard houses from the most cheapest materials to then sell them for more people. But even if we think about it like that, almost nobody can afford to buy a house right now, so using the cheapest materials kinda not affect anything because still nobody can buy them. And of course it's all is done to maximize profits. Most modern buildings look the same, just also to cut the costs. And we have all these similar buildings now because of that. Like, I don't know, you can look at this turning torso building in Sweden. Well, design wise, it looks terrible. Plus, it's too high. And you can see how it literally ruins the whole view of the city, because every other building in the city is 5 stories max. Just feels like somebody randomly decided to place it here for no reason. Completely ruins the whole view of the city, because now everywhere you look you will see this building and it sticks out, which is very bad. I don't know why it was built, I don't know who approved it, but it's horrible. Especially when skyscrapers are built in historical parts of the cities. It's the most brain-dead decision that anyone can make. Just completely wipe the history of the town by building this stupid tower. It's sad. Or let's just do the common houses or apartments. They all look same with houses, almost all look same, especially in United States when they started building suburbs that look like Gary's mod map. And they have pretty creepy vibes to them, because every house is literally same, driveway is the same, everything is same. It looks like you're stuck in backrooms and you can't escape. I really like the old architecture, how it was developed, how everything looked back then. But now there is nothing positive that I can say about modern architecture. It's just boring, cost cutting. There is nothing good can be said about it, unfortunately. So if you enjoyed this video, you can leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, and also you can follow my Twitch. And see you in the next videos.